The Indiana Pacers are officially 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. I know we keep saying how crazy it sounds, but it is real. They are real, and they are showing exactly why they are so close to being in the NBA Finals. My goodness. Not only did they win today's game, they outworked us. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. They were more comfortable. They were more physical. They were more aggressive. They were more trustworthy of each other and themselves. One of the best things about the playoff stage this far and this late in the season is that every team and every coach and every player, they're going to show you who they are. If you have weak-minded players, weak-minded coaches, they're going to show you that they're weak. If you don't have a group of guys that are mentally tough, they're going to show you. If you don't have guys that want this shit, that feel like they can go and get this shit, they're going to show you. And this loss for me, and I'm only going to speak for myself. Everybody else will have their own opinion. You know what I mean? It's in this day and age that we're in, it feels like when you give an opinion, everybody feels like they have to go against it or tell you. I'm not speaking for anybody but myself. This loss was much more tougher for me. Because as a basketball guy who watches and analyzes and studies, and I've done it all my life before it was ever a job, and as a guy who's played for most of his life, you understand that certain things happen. Man, even outside of sports, when some shit is meant to happen, it is meant to happen, and then nobody is stopping it. And that's how I felt in game one. When you see Aaron Nesmith lose his mind in the fourth quarter and just can't miss anything, when you see Tyrese Halliburton's shot go up and then somehow falls back into the rim perfectly, you just walk away and say, man, they were just meant to win that game. But then you come back and you have a chance to take back some control of the series, to take some power back, to regain some momentum and show that you are the better team, because in that game one, for majority of the game, you were the better team and you outplayed them and you were better than them and you could keep up with them. And all you had to do is showcase that again and be the team that you are, which in the locker room, you should feel like you're better. The proof says it based off the game one. And we just didn't get that. We got it a little bit. When things was easy and when they wasn't fighting that hard in the first half, and we were able to win the first quarter by 2, win the second quarter by 1, going to halftime by 3, it was all fun and games. But then they won that third quarter by 3 and they tied the game up. And now we go into the fourth quarter with a tie game. And the pressure is on and the pressure builds. And again, back to how I started the conversation, this stage, late in the season, all eyes, people are going to show you who they are. And I'm not going to lie. I don't like when fans and people jump on coaches every single chance they get. And I've been that way with the Knicks community, because I felt like there's been so many times where they just ready to just blame Tom Thibodeau any chance they can get. Sometimes you lose to teams that are better than you. Sometimes it just happens. I don't feel like the Pacers are just this better team than us. They are playing better, and they're playing better when it matters the most, because I know a lot of people, Pacer fans, going to be in the comments, we 2-0, how you mean we're not better? No, what I mean is I feel like Rick Carlisle is running circles around Tom Thibodeau, and he really did it in game 2. He really did. I'm watching a guy in Rick Carlisle who trusts his entire team so much that Thomas Bryant comes in the game, the backup center. He picks up 2 quick fouls. And you know what happens in those 4 minutes when he picked up those 2 fouls? He never played again. Because Rick Carlisle said, okay, he's fouling. They're attacking him in the pick and roll. Tony Bradley, you go. Me and my guys text each other, and one of our friends, Mason, is a Pacers fan. And he was like, why is Tony Bradley on my screen? Because like Tony Bradley doesn't play. And I text him back like, yeah, I can't blame you. I probably would have went small. But these are the reasons why we aren't paid the millions of dollars that guys like Rick Carlisle are to coach. He trusted his guy. He trusted one of his guys that has been around the team. I can't say the whole season because that would be a lie. But again, he just has a certain amount of trust because he's played these guys. He's used time in the regular season to get acquainted with guys. And when he has opportunity to allow guys and a chance to prove themselves or show that they can play 8 minutes. It ain't like Tony Bradley came out here and dominated and changed the game. He just held shit down for an 8-minute stretch. That's all he did. He gave them a solid 8 minutes where he didn't fuck up too much. He didn't do anything out of his world. He did his damn job for 8 minutes. You're never going to see that with the Knicks, whether it's a regular season game, whether it is a early playoff game, and you damn sure ain't going to see it late in the season right now. Instead, what you would see is, and it's so backwards. This is the part that frustrated me the most, right? So Tom Thibodeau plays our guys, and all of my Knicks fans around the world will understand where I'm coming from. We've had games this year, and even in these playoffs, where we've blown a team out, where the game is essentially pretty much over. Even though game one showed us no game is actually over until the clock hits 0.0. But you get what I mean. There's been plenty of times where I've got a text, a tweet, a DM like, man, why Thibodeau still got the starters in and y'all up 27 in the fourth? These are examples from over the years. I've gotten messages and tweets and different things like that. Every Knick can relate. Every Knick fan can relate of watching a game, whether it was this year, last year, the year before, when we're handling a team and we've pretty much got the game wrapped up and you're yelling at the screen, okay, we can take them out. We can take them out. And then we have a game like tonight where our back is essentially against the wall. This is a really must win, even though game 3 is an even more must win. And every game for the rest of the series is going to be a must win. Today would have really helped us and alleviate a bit of a pressure. Let me make sure I'm looking at this right. I wish I had my glasses just to make sure. Karl Anthony Towns, who finished the game with 3 fouls, played 27 minutes. Wait. Josh Hart played 28 minutes? Huh? Cameron Payne played 9 minutes? Why? Cameron Payne showed me in the 3 minutes he played, he wasn't supposed to play in this game. In the 9 minutes he played, he was a -9. 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. And his threes are always so wild. He always plays so wild. Don't get me wrong. When Cam Payne is making his shots and being a spark, which is at 1 in every fucking 19 games, he can make some shit happen. But in these type of moments, in these type of stretches that Thibodeau was calling himself playing campaign, I didn't get it, and I never will. I will personally be okay if I never see Cam Payne play again in these playoffs. That's just me, and it's no disrespect to Cam Payne because again, when he has his moments, he's rolling and he can change a game. But I just feel like Cam Payne at this point is not a guy that you can expect that from on a game-by-game basis. I feel like we learned that in round 1. He had the game 1 against the Pistons, and then we didn't see him for the rest of the season. There was no other impact outside of the game 1. Grateful for game 1, but I have to know who my team is, and I have to have some familiarity and comfort with my roster. And you get that by trusting and learning them in the regular season. And Rick Carlisle is a coach that's showing you that. When I wrapped up the game, like I closed out the game to prepare to do this, I went to Twitter real quick, and the great Isaiah Thomas. We have multiple great Isaiah Thomases, by the way, too, because there's one from where I'm from. Shout out to Zeke. Chicago is where it's at. But this is the former Celtic Isaiah Thomas. Thibs getting out coach. This happens to his teams every year. They die out because he doesn't trust his bench. Couldn't said it any better. That's a player. That's a former player. He ain't rooting for the Pacers. What is he rooting for the Pacers? And he ain't rooting against the Knicks. He don't have a bias in this race. He's just speaking as a guy who played and I'm sure is still watching today. And I couldn't agree more. And it's easy to not see it in other series, but when you're playing against a team like the Pacers and a coach like Rick Carlisle, it becomes evident. It becomes evident. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to say that's the reason we lost the game, because there's a bunch of things from our players that can change and that can improve. But there are certain things that you just look at and you have a chance to win. You have a chance to tie. You have a chance to take advantage of certain things, and I just don't feel like we did. I was iffy the entire time Brunson was bringing up the ball. After the 2 Aaron Nesmith free throws, they made it a 3-point game. I was very iffy. I was trusting the process because there's nothing I can do as a fan but watch the moment. But I was like, as soon as Aaron Nesmith went to the free throw line, I saw, okay, we have one timeout left. I am assuming Aaron Nesmith is going to make these 2 free throws. I have no other reason to think otherwise. Once he make these, what are we going to call a timeout? I can't wait to see what Thibodeau is going to do. Is Thibodeau going to draw up a play where he tricks the defense and uses Brunson as like a distraction, and then we try to do a quick hit for a 2 somewhere else? Is he going to be a decoy where he's looks like he's coming off, but then we got like Josh Hart or somebody slipping to the basket for an easy little dunk, and we can still play the foul game, back and forth. Like, or are we going to go for the 3 right out of the timeout? We didn't take the timeout, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. And Brunson shoots a heave, and I'm just like, that we had a timeout. So I don't know. Defensively, I want to be realistic, because it's like Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson. He's going to work. He's going to try, but the guy is 6 foot. He's not going to stop anybody or bother too much of what's going on. I just feel like there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's so many possessions, and it's hard to point them out in the actual context of the game without watching again, and it doesn't show up in the box score. But there's so many plays where you just see somebody pointing, and you see the Pacers score, and you see 2 Knicks players talking, like basically saying, I thought you were going to be here and I was going to go there, or ain't you supposed to be here? Like, again, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Y'all fucking shitted and collapsed in game 1. The last thing me, as a basketball and a Knicks fan, want to see is, you motherfuckers don't know if y'all switching or not? You don't know that by now? This ain't the regular season. Some of those things can happen in regular season. You barely scout and you haven't walked through. It's a Wednesday game. You fresh off a back-to-back, or you're playing, a West Coast trip, and you're just not all the way in tune with certain things. Understandable. But when you're in the playoffs and you have all of the time to sink in and focus and dial in on one team, and you're going over every single principle and rule and scheme that you want for this particular team, and you can dial in on them. So hey, on Wednesday, we played against the Pacers. Guess what? On Friday, we're going to play against them. And then on Sunday, we'll play against them. And then on fucking Wednesday or Tuesday after the Sunday, we're going to play against them. For the next 4 games, you're going to be seeing the Indiana Pacers. So to not be locked and dial in on exactly what we're doing is mind-blowing to me. And I see certain things, and I'm just like, why? I'm seeing Mitch leave the basket to go fake closeout on a 3 that it's impossible for him to get to. And so all they do is fucking pass it down to the big for a dunk. It's like, why even leave the rim on a 3 you're not about to get to? It's a fake closeout at that point. It's fake. It's fake. How many fucking times are the Pacers going to leak out? How is our advantage rebounding and we only a +3 in the rebounding department? 45 to 48. We got three extra offensive rebounds. How can they be out tougher? How can they out tough us? How can they win that battle? How can you watch this and just feel like they are the more aggressive team? How? How do all of our starters get 2 or more fouls? But the fouls are petty. And when you're going to foul somebody, lay these motherfuckers out. Make a motherfucker feel you. These little tic-tac bitchy-ass fouls. Weak-ass fouls. Make them up. That's what the Pacers doing. When Nembhard foul, he getting his money's worth. When Nesmith foul, he getting his money's worth. Mitchell Robinson had a clear dunk, man. Nembhard, no. You should get him at the line, buddy. And he missed both, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he might have made the second. But a wonderful foul, because obviously you want Mitchell Robinson to earn at the line. We don't do shit like that. We're steady slip slaps, patty cake, and Pascal Siakam for and one after and one after and one after and one. We just one time you just gotta bop. Just gotta do it. It's playoffs. He'll be okay. You ain't hurt nobody. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? You'll be okay. That's what they doing. Nesmith gonna foul Brunson. Brunson gonna have to pick himself up. And I ain't been one seeing no play where I'm like, man, Nesmith is dirty. No, it's playoff physical Eastern Conference basketball. I don't have no numbers today. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker shot from the field today. I know Josh Hart got to shoot more than 3 shots. You got to. With a name like Hart, you got to have more heart than just shooting 3 shots. Unacceptable. OG Anunoby, thank you for shooting the basketball, but I think you got to shoot a couple more times than 11. Miles McBride, you got to slow the fuck down. You have to. You have to. The turnovers he got were just stupid. He had one play where he thought he was playing for the Pacers. He ran up the court into a gap and just lost the ball. Then the second turnover he had, he went around the baseline and lost the ball out of bounds. Just stupid shit. Just stupid shit. Shit that makes me say, what are you even doing? The turnovers are so bad, they're ingrained in my mind. I have not watched this game more than once. I have not seen a play that wasn't like reviewed or that they showed a replay of. I haven't watched it more than once, but I have his 2 turnovers ingrained in my brain because they were that disgusting. That disgusting. But on the other side, because I'm real, I give credit where credit is due. I love the confidence that the Pacers play with. And you had to expect that they were going to play with confidence today because, as my term, as I always say, they playing with house money. They already did their job, which was to split in Madison Square Garden. They did it in the most dramatic way possible, in the most gut-wrenching way possible in Game 1, where they took a win. And now Game 2, they get to come in and be comfortable and play their game and do what they do. And damn it, they did it. Damn it, they did it, man. And I just love the way Rick Carlisle goes about it. Again, I think the Tony Bradley 8 minutes says so much about his style of coaching and the trust that he has in his entire roster. Not just the starters. It's not tough to trust your starters. Every coach in the world trusts their star player. Of course, you're going to play your all-star a bunch of minutes, but what can you do when you really got to get something out? When you really got to carve out some minutes, or you really got to just hold it down for a few minutes or a stretch? What can you do? Are you going to go to the same shit that has not? Listen, if I was in the Sahara Desert, I probably wouldn't keep going to the same well as I'm dying of thirst. Once I go to that well and ain't shit in there, I'm probably not going back there. I just can't. So I love it. Even Obi Toppin in Game 1. Obi Toppin started the overtime, had 4 of his 8 points in that overtime, was a big reason that they won with the putback dunk and the dunk at the end. It probably should have been an and one. I don't think you would ever get that from a Thibodeau team. You would never be able to say, Miles McBride, he was a star at overtime. He won that overtime. No. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. And like they've done all playoffs long, they make timely shots. They know how to generate the shots that they want, and they know how to take them. Pascal Siakam is a guy that way before this series I called the most underrated player in the NBA. Because he knows how to be consistent, and then he has nights like this where he does what he does. It ain't the sexiest. It ain't the prettiest. He might do the same damn move, but if you can't stop it, why would I change up my game? Josh Hart too small. OG Anunoby, too slow or whatever, too aggressive as a defender. The switching and all of that shit, and he takes full advantage. He got a bunch of and ones. He made timely 3-point shots. He got it out of the post. He made sound decisions. He leaked out because he know that we all trying to crash the glass as if we've not played the Pacers before and understand what they want to do. Nembhard continues to make timely shots. Tyrese Halliburton walked into a big-ass 3 because it's just like, why not? I'm confident. You don't get those from our players. You don't really get that. You get Mikal Bridges, who I ain't mad at, but I can't express to you how frustrating it is to see Mikal Bridges shoot a fadeaway jump shot every time he has a shot attempt. And he makes some tough ones, but he does have shots where I'm like, bro, that's a layup. You didn't have to fade away. You're doing a 4 feet fadeaway. What the fuck is that? You rather go around the baseline and turn around fading away over Miles Turner than to try to go in the chest and get to the line for 2 easy free throws? Don't know. The one thing that I will say to wrap this up and to give my final thoughts as a Knicks fan, I'm still rooting for my team. There's still a lot of basketball left. You got to use the same mindset. Go one game at a time. This isn't the first or last time somebody has dropped 2 games in a row. We won 2 games in a row on a roll last series, and I still wasn't comfortable because I knew it doesn't mean everything. And I kept saying it ain't over, it ain't over, it ain't over. We go to the Pacers stadium or arena Sunday. I will be in attendance in that game, live in person. You win that game, and then you move on to 4. You should not be thinking ahead. We should not be thinking about the next time we're in Madison Square Garden. We should not be thinking about if only we had one game won. We should not be thinking about if they didn't call this or that in the third in game 2. You have to officially move on, and all I ask is that you give it what you have. You give it your all. And that goes for Tom Thibodeau too. I promise you, I'm not paying the money that I paid to get to that game on Sunday, game 3, to watch Karl-Anthony Towns play 27 minutes. That's not what I'm paying my money for. I'm not paying my money to see a -9 or -9 from campaign in 9 minutes. Not paying my money to see that. This is a Pacers team that is good. We respect them. I've talked highly of them all playoffs long. With that being said, in either of these 2 games, and prior to these 2 games, have they made me feel like they are unfuckwittable when it comes to playing against the Knicks? They are not a team that I look at and say, oh my gosh, here come the Pacers. The Knicks have to find some mental toughness. Tom Thibodeau got to get in his coaching bag and match Rick Carlisle. And we need to do what we got to do on the road and make this series even. So I'll see y'all after tomorrow's game. I'm going to be in Indianapolis on Sunday. So regardless of what happens, the Knicks could win that game by 35. I don't think I'm going to be able to give y'all a video that night. The Knicks could get embarrassed and lose by 35. I'm not going to be able to give y'all a video because I'll be all the way out there. So as far as the Knicks series, this is probably the last time you'll see me speak before game 4. Unless I still find a way to get y'all that video out on like Monday. We'll see. But don't expect the after post-game reaction. Love y'all as always. I appreciate y'all. Talk y'all shit. I know y'all gonna clown. It's a part of being a Knicks fan. I never take it personal. I get it. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.